who stood there crying.
There's Simon and Garfunkel, there's Lennon and McCartney. John and Richie, their vocal styles together made its own style. Certain voices just go together.
The energy of the band, undeniable, like a freight train coming at you. But John and Richie singing together, magic.
Richie was in the audience, and he came up to me and says, I want to be your lead guitar player.
What are you, crazy?
No,
It's not how to ingratiate yourself that people say, I'm going to be the lead guitarist.
Dick, it worked.
Right.
Richie Sambora, IV, take one.
I'm excited for this.
I'm excited.
We immediately hit it off. I knew that this guy was incredibly talented. He could play, he could sing, he could write, and I thought he would be an incredible compliment. And we were on the road, and we were 20 shows in. And I remember being on the phone to Richie, and he said, can I stay home another day and fly private the next day? And I said, of course. And there was an airplane on the runway, car in the driveway, suitcase in the trunk, and he never makes it.
Richie wouldn't leave his own house to show up for the show.
John and the band knew exactly why I didn't get on the plane that night.
Personal issues, Richie Sambora will not be performing on this upcoming leg. All shows will go on as scheduled.
I had broken my arm, and the pain pill started, and the boozing and all that. You know, I mean, I just was I was kind of gone, you know? I was kind of gone.
He left the band. The fans were devastated.
Well, the truth of the truth is that we were all decimated. You know, we were shocked. We were in Calgary, in Canada. It was a show. There was a show, and he literally didn't show up. And we had to go on without him. And the next day, you know, he was not there. And we're like, well, are you coming? You know? And there had been another incident where, you know, he wasn't at a part of a tour.
I'm sure you heard, and I got a little bit of explaining, and I'm gonna move on. Richie's not here with us tonight, and I understand. Personal matters are keeping him at home right now.
And at the time, Shanks had been watching a ton of my vintage guitar demos on YouTube.
What's up?
This guy might be an alternative while our friend figures out what he wants to do.
Shanks called me and he said, I think I have a gig for you. How do you feel about filling in for Richie Sambora? I'm like, that sounds impossible. That sounds like totally, there's no way that could happen.
So with this tour, the show went on. There was 80 more shows on the tour. You have 120 families that are relying on their paycheck. You have fans that are traveling from around the globe. You have a new album to promote. You have a band that are counting on you. There was a show tonight, Mike. You know, and so it was heartbreaking, it still is. There's a big gap in my heart. But the team had to play the game. There's just no way that, you know, we're reliant on anyone, you know. The show goes on.
Are you in contact with him now?
He was here in August and watched the docuseries with me. You know, there's no animos. I underline that over and over and over again. He was a single parent raising his daughter. He was going through some trials and tribulations with, you know, stuff. And it's been 11 years, you know, so the train kept rolling.
Do you ever see a time you could perform together again?
There's no animos, you know, plug in the guitar. Stand over there next to Phil and John and me and David and Tico, and if there's a show tonight, I'm not hard to find, you know? Could we both spit on a microphone as good as anybody? You bet. But, you know, like I'd said about, and I mean this with all due love and respect, being in a rock band is not a life sentence. So when he chose not to show up, like he says in the movie, I don't regret leaving, I just regret the way I did it.
It's my